Welcome to this week's episode of Keeping Up with the Psych Majors.
I'm Catherine.
And I'm Lindsay, and today we're going to be talking to you about a study by Lou and colleagues. Catherine, can you tell us a little bit about this?
So this study was done to take a deeper look into the possible correlations between internet addiction and borderline personality symptoms. And we wanted to look at also how mental health might be a mediator between these two variables. And Lindsay, do you think you could tell us a little bit more about who the researchers asked in terms of participants?
Yes. So, the researchers were looking at 500 college students between the ages of 20 and 30 who attended college in Taiwan. And these students, interestingly enough, had different interests ranging from health professions to math all the way to art. So then, once they recruited these participants, the researchers were asking them different questions about their borderline personality symptoms, like how helpless you feel at times, their sexual behaviors at different times, as well as their internet addiction and their mental health, asking about their anxiety, depression, and possible hostility in the past week.
So Lindsay, it is important to recognize that internet addiction isn't as simple as you think it is.
Okay, so what were the researchers using for this study then?
So the researchers defined internet addiction as compulsive use and withdrawal, an increasing amount of being on the internet in spite of maybe being less productive or seeing negative consequences, and also feeling that you need to be present on the internet more than usual.
Okay, so with that definition of internet addiction, the researchers thought that there would be a positive relationship between borderline personality symptoms and internet addiction, and they also thought that that mental health would be a mediating factor between these two variables.
So now that we have a general idea of what the researchers expected to find in the study, we wanted to take a look at what the general public thought about it.
We have our correspondent Ethan out there in the field right now, and let's see if we can hear from him.
Thanks, Lindsay. I'm out here, your on-site correspondent, and I'm going to try and find some good people to interview to ask them how they feel when they use social media.
Oh, hey.
Oh my God, great. How do you feel when you use social media?
Well, when I use social media, it takes me hours to get the perfect selfie. And when I don't get a lot of likes, it really hurts my ego, and I feel really sad.
Hi. My name is Ethan Leon. I'm here on the street to get the public opinion about how they feel about social media. What's your name and how do you feel about it?
My name's Gwen. I feel a little bit uncomfortable about how you approached me, but besides that, social media makes me feel okay. I had stress during last night, but I actually got a job and I can delete all my social media. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but I'd say it's fine. It's fine.
That was an amazing response. Now we're outside. Hopefully we're going to find some more people to ask some questions. Oh, hey, there's someone. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, after having to run a mile to go catch this lovely individual, I'm here with HWS student
Phoebe Paul.
Oh, awesome. And I'm here to ask her today, how does social media make you feel?
I can't do this.
So, our last participant actually ran away. But I'm here to ask HWS student,
Josh, please.
what he feels when he's using social media.
I mean, I don't really use it too often, but when I do use it, I mean, it's a good way to stay in contact with people, but otherwise, I mean, it can be kind of make you feel like left out sometimes, but otherwise, I don't use it too much though.
Thanks, Ethan. Sure looks cold out there. Now, Lindsay, tell me about what the researchers actually found.
So, as we talked about before, the researchers thought that there would be a positive correlation between internet addiction and borderline personality symptoms. So, after asking their 500 college students to finish out their measurements, they found that there actually was a positive correlation between both borderline personality symptoms as well as internet addictions. And they also found that internet addiction was associated with mental health challenges, which can give us a mediation model.
Wait a sec, Lindsay. What is mediation?
So, Catherine, mediation is a way that we can kind of explain how two things are related. So in this case, the researchers thought that both internet addiction and borderline personality symptoms would be related by mental health. So the researchers created a model, a mediation model, and within this model, you look at the relationship between borderline personality symptoms and internet addiction. The researchers found that this actually did test to be a positive mediation, which means that borderline personality symptoms were mediated through mental health in their relationship with internet addiction.
Now, back to the streets with Ethan to see what random college students thought about the results of this experiment.
So, based on the findings of this study, there are basically significant findings between borderline personality disorder symptoms and internet addiction. Does that surprise you?
No, that's really interesting. So does that mean if I spend a lot of time on the internet, I'll also be at risk for borderline personality disorder?
Well, if you remember, correlation does not equal causation. So, you're probably good, but also, your internet usage probably isn't considered internet addiction, just based on you being a college student and having a lot of things to do, so you're probably good. Okay, so now after telling you the study's findings, and you keeping in mind that correlation does not mean causation, how does that make you feel? How do the findings relate to your life, or like what have you found?
Well, I know that, having borderline personality disorder doesn't just mean that you have depression and anxiety, but I kind of can see how that might relate, I feel like people who are really addicted to social media have a lot more, they feel like they have a lot more responsibility to keep up with their phone, and that people who aren't around their phone as much are a little bit less stressed out. So I know it's not exactly the same thing, but I can see how that would relate.
So after telling you those results, are you surprised? What's your overall opinion of it?
I personally don't get depressed or kind of feel too different, but I can see how it would affect some people. Yeah.
Thanks, Ethan.
And one last thing, it is important to recognize that although the researchers' results were significant, there are some small limitations to this study.
Thank you, Catherine. That is actually a really great point. So the researchers decided to use a correlational design for this study, which means that no conclusions can be drawn in terms of causation, because, as we know, correlation does not equal causation. So by no means are the researchers trying to say that internet addiction causes borderline personality symptoms to appear in individuals. So that is one thing that you really have to take into account when thinking about these results.
Wow, Lindsay, that's such a relief. Even though I do tag my friends in a lot of memes on Facebook and obsessively scroll through my Instagram feed, it doesn't necessarily mean that...
It does not mean that you might possess some borderline personality symptoms even if you use the internet, because, as I know, you do tend to tag me in memes a lot.
Thanks for clearing that one up.
You're welcome. So thank you all for tuning in to our segment of Keeping Up with the Psych Majors, and we hope that you can really take this information and put it into your personal lives. But for the time being, tune in tomorrow night. Catherine.
Look at this dog.
Oh my god. Do you know what we're doing tomorrow night?
Yeah, we're looking at the relationships between food consumption and REM sleep.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good day.
Thanks for tuning in. Can you see
personality and internet?
Can you see this? So now that we explained what the researchers thought about this study, what am I saying? What am I saying? What am I saying? What am I saying?
Oh, it's like the why and the how. Or like the means through which. Okay, that's what it is.
Eyelashes on fleek.
Always. Okay, I think